And we are live. Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining another wonderful session with the GrowVeg Challenge. We have here with us Mr. Kayode Idowu, who will be speaking to us about the importance of effective nutrient management. Mr. Kayode, kindly introduce yourself to our audience.
Good evening, everybody. You are all welcome to this evening section of knowing the importance of effective nutrient management. This section is going to be an interactive one, so you guys should not leave it all for me alone as we'll be interacting and getting the best. Thank you very much. Once again, you are all welcome.
Yes, thank you so much. And we also have here with us my co-host, Mr. Favor. Please introduce yourself to the audience.
All right. Good evening, everyone. I hope you all had a great day. My
Yeah.
name is Favor. I'm the Communications and PR Manager for Leverage Fresh Limited. And I'm happy to be here today.
Thank you so much. And as always, I am Chinenye, your host for tonight. Thank you all for joining once again. So, Mr. Kaide, we have a few questions for you tonight that we also want to share with our audience and also for them to
Okay.
learn. And as
All
we
right.
earlier said,
All right.
today's topic is about the importance of effective nutrient management. So, to all our viewers, please sit back and listen. Thank you so much. And feel free to drop your questions or your comments in the comment section. Thank you. So, over to you now, Mr. Kayode. The first question I have for you is on nutrient management. So, why is nutrient
All right.
management considered a critical factor in crop production?
Thank you very much, Madam Chinoye. Thank you for that beautiful question. In short, that
Thank you.
signifies almost everything we need to discuss. First of
Yes.
all, the term management, it's a very broad topic and it's cut across all segments of life. So for most of us that are doing production too, management is very, very important in every section of your crop production. Either you are doing it in the back of your house or as a commercial scale, management is very, very important. So now the importance of nutrients management in your crop production goes a long way because one, it helps you to have a good decision making. It helps you to have a good planning for your plants. It also helps you to have a good implementation and helps your plant to get the best from every aspect of your plants that you have put in place. So it is very, very critical to have a good plan in place, a good nutrient plan in place, because there are a lot that goes into place when you are planning for your nutrients. For instance, you have to consider many factors, which include your soil type, which include the environment, which include the water bodies, which also include the people that will also eat what you are doing, because the end product of your crop production is going to be eaten by people. So it is very, very important so that whatever will be going into the body will be healthy for the people that will be consuming them too. So it is important for your planning to be top notch and for every decision making to be very, very key. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kaide. That was very wonderful. So the next
You're
question I have for
welcome.
you is on nutrient deficiencies. So how do nutrient deficiencies typically show up in vegetable crops like tomatoes or like cucumbers?
Wow, thank you very much for that question, Madam Chi. You cannot, well, just as we earlier said, planning is very, very important. If you don't have a good plan, you might be having different challenges in your crop. Sometimes you might mistake um, insect deficiencies as nutrient deficiency because you are not paying attention to your crops and to your production. So by the time you have a good nutrient plan, it will give you an idea of what you know that might be lacking. And one of the critical aspects of your nutrient management plan, I always sound it at the mind of everybody, most especially our participants, that You have to know the health of your soil. Soil testing is very, very critical, and it's one of the most critical aspects of your nutrient management plan, because by the time you do your soil test, you are able to get the soil results. You'll be able to have a good decision making, a good, well structured plan. You know the deficiency that the soil is not having. You know the deficiency. You know the nutrient that is available in the soil. You know the pH of the soil. You know the electrical conductivity of the soil. You will know the organic matter of the soil. So all this can only be gotten through your soil test results. Without that, every other thing you are doing is just on hypothesis and assumption, which is not too good for a professional and for the health of everybody, also for the environment, and for you to also have the sustainability in managing your costs. Your soil test result will play a critical part in making you to save more costs. Let me stop there. Thank you very much, Madam Chi.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm sure if we allow you, you have a lot more to share with our viewers tonight. But thank you so much. So
You're
you
welcome.
talked about soil testing. So what role does the
Yes.
soil testing play in effective nutrient management?
Wow. The role soil tests play in effective nutrient management are much. One of the roles it plays is one, by the time you have a soil test of your soil, you already have an idea of the pH level of your soil. Is your soil acidic? Is your soil neutral? Is your soil alkaline? Because, for instance, if you don't have if you don't know the pH of your soil and you just go ahead and start running your production, you might be having some challenges even when you start giving them all the required nutrients. But because your soil is alkaline or it's acidic, they might not be able to, the plants might not be able to uptake those nutrients. You might just be like, but I am giving these plants all the requirements, but just a little error has cost you a lot. It has cost you time, it has cost you money, it has cost you energy, and at the end of the day, you will lose almost everything you have spent a lot on. So one of the major reasons why your soil testing is critical for your effective nutrient management is the pH. It also helps you to know the availability of nutrient in the soil. I think I have listed most of them previously, but it also makes you to know the nutrient availability of your soil. Soil testing also helps you to know the nutrient that is deficient in your soil. For instance, you might have high potassium in your soil, and you might be having very minute nitrogen in your soil. So this will help you to have a proper decision making in your planning that I need to give lesser potassium and higher nitrogen in your nutrient management plan. Or you might be having an acidic soil because of the results that you've done, and because of the soil tests you've done, and you've discovered this. The thing that will be coming to your nutrient plan management is before I can go ahead and do production, I have to apply lime to increase the pH so that the crop I want to plant will be able to have access to proper nutrient that is available. But without all this information, you might just be losing a lot. Also, your soil test result also guides you in managing your environment, because overusage of synthetic fertilizer plays a serious impact on our environment. Most of us presently are talking about climate change, global warming, and those are one of the factors that are part of it. Excessive usage of synthetic fertilizer plays a role in that. So with the help of your soil test results, you can have a control about that on how to manage your synthetic fertilizer. It also guides you. It also guides you in the aspect of what to apply and what to do and what not to do. Also, soil test result helps for optimal yields of your crop production and a lot of other benefits like that. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Kaide.
I believe you
Thank you
can
so
hear
much.
me.
Yes, I can hear
Yeah,
you.
you're welcome.
So I want to use this opportunity to welcome our viewers. We have Clara. Good evening to you from Sierra Leone. Thank you for joining us. joining us. I'm sure you're going to be having a wonderful time with us tonight. Then we have ABS Amos who says good evening. Good evening to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Then we have Floyd Oscars watching from Botswana. Floyd, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. And to all others who are also viewing from wherever you're watching from, thank you for joining us. You're all welcome. Um, if you missed the previous sessions, you can always go back to Leverage Fresh Limited Facebook page or Dr. Bidimi's Facebook page to watch the playbacks. And again, once again, thank you, Mr. Kayode, for the opportunity to ask you all these questions and also giving the
You're
opportunity to
welcome.
our viewers to learn from you. Thank you, sir. So the next question I have for you is concerning smallholder farmers. So how can a smallholder farmer balance affordability and nutrient requirements?
Wow, that's a very good question. Very, very good question. Thank you
Thank
for
you,
that,
sir.
Madam Chino. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kai.
Smallholder farmers, how do they balance the affordability and nutrients requirement? The first thing first is for you to know the kind of crops you want to plant. When you decide to plant cucumber or tomatoes or sweet pepper or cabbage or habanero, that's the first step you need to know. What do I want to plant? That's one. Two, as I said earlier, and I'll keep saying this, you already have the idea. This, now, let me assume you already know the health of your soil. You've done your test, you've realized that these are the things you need to put in place to help your production. And also, the third one is every crops you are planting have a requirement. They have a nutrient requirement. So by the time you know the nutrient requirement of each crops, it will help you to save costs and lots more. For instance, it might be your tomato plant might be needing 30 grams of nitrogen till when you start harvesting them, while your cucumber plant might be needing just 20 grams. So by the time you know all that, it will be easy for you to determine how to balance it. Also, you have to also consider not over reliance on synthetic fertilizer, because over reliance on synthetic fertilizer will cost you more and it will lead to degradation of your soil and also having some environmental impact. So by the time you put all this into consideration, you will realize that you are saving costs and you are getting the best from your output. Also, you have to know the requirement of each nutrient on your crop per time. For instance, for instance, you are planting tomatoes, you already know that initially the tomato needs more of nitrogen at this particular time to this particular time. As time goes on, the
Yes.
tomatoes need more of potassium at this particular time to this particular time. So by the time you understand all that, it will help you to save costs. It will help you to know when to apply this particular nutrients at the right time. There is what we call the 4 R's in nutrient management, which includes the right place, right time, right source, and right rates. So by the time you understand all these concepts, it will be easy for you to have a good nutrient requirement on your crop. And this is basically for small scale farmers and even for commercial scale farmers. Thank you very much, Madam Chinoye.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Kaide. Thank you
You're
for
welcome.
the breakdown shared with us. We appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
So, which nutrients are most critical during the early stage of vegetables, the early growth stage rather of vegetables?
Thank you very much, Madam Chinoye. This is a very good question because this will help most of our participants to understand the requirement and to also help us save costs because one, you are going into this either as a business or you have to consider that this is business. So the best way is for you to minimize excesses. So now, we have major nutrients, which includes the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. And why we have the minor nutrients, but they are also essential, like the magnesium, the calcium, manganese, and so on. We also have the trace element like the copper, iron, boron, and so on. So, but mostly the trace elements are not something you can easily got either from the market or, but mostly they are available in the soil. But not all the time they are available in the soil, but most times they are available. So most farmers deal with the major nutrients, which include the nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, calcium, magnesium. Those are the major five. And to plan with that. So for instance, now if you are doing tomatoes, have it at the back of our mind that from this stage, maybe the first 3 weeks of your plants, they need more of nitrogen. They need more of nitrogen. Why? Because nitrogen helps in vegetation. But at the same time, they need phosphorus, which helps in root formation. The phosphorus will help the plant to be able to uptake the nitrogen in the soil. At the same time, also, they need potassium to help them to resist disease. And at the same time, we also need potassium when they start flowering and when they start fruiting. Also, we need phosphorus when they start flowering, and we need them for good root formation. And we also need calcium for disease resistance and to have a good shelf life. So by the time you understand the basis of how this nutrient works, you know how to plan with it. That is why GrowVeg or Leverage Fresh, GrowVeg 4.0, the most of the participants are always given a guideline that will help them. And that guideline is 100%. Because with that guideline, you can sleep and be rest assured that you don't have any issue. Starting from the day your seed is raised to the day the seedlings are transplanted. Some of them who are doing cucumber might not even need to nurse their seed. They might plant direct. Those who are doing watermelon too might plant direct. But every guidelines has been done for you. And everything that was given to you is not something that was just given based on assumption or Google. It is what we practice in our field. It is what we do. We do it based on what we do, and it is something that we have tested, we have confirmed, and the previous participants from the GrowVeg 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, that is what they are using. In short, those who are even going into commercial scales, that is what they are using. So it's a privilege that you are even getting this thing without stress, because it's something a lot of people are looking for, and people are even selling with huge amount of money. So what am I trying to say is, when you understand all these concepts, it will be easy for you to just flow. You know your plant needs nitrogen at this stage to this stage. At this stage your plant needs phosphorus. At this stage your plant needs potassium. It will help you and it will give you the edge you need. Thank you very much, Madam Chi. I guess I'm over stressing the discussion.
Thank you. You're doing
You're
very
welcome.
well, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Um, I know we've talked about the critical nutrients needed for the crop growth. So how do these
Okay.
nutrient needs, how do they change across different crops? We have different growth stage. So how do the nutrient needs change across different growth stages, like vegetative, flowering, fruiting? So how do they change?
Okay, thank you, Chi, for that question. That's a good question. Normally, I would have just say no. They already have the our participants are knowledgeable enough, and with the guideline they have, let them just follow suit. But let me just quickly break it down. For instance, the vegetative stage of all plants. I mean all plants, including the tree crops. Though we are not doing trees, but since we are vegetable farmers, horticulture, all plants need nitrogen at their younger stage. For tomatoes, the first 4 weeks, they need more of nitrogen. That's from the day you transplant them to the day they start showing sign of flowering. They need more of nitrogen, less of potassium, less of phosphorus. So from the first 4 weeks, your plant needs nitrogen. From the fourth weeks, when they start flowering to when they start showing fruiting, they need potassium. They need calcium. From the first week of transplanting to the fourth week of flowering, they need magnesium, they need phosphorus. So all these things have been broken down in our production guide or nutrient management plan. It has been there, so you just go there, pick it up, and enjoy your journey. Thank you very much, Madam Chi.
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you for highlighting the importance of joining the GrowVeg Challenge 4.0 and the numerous resources that you have access to. Thank you so much, sir. So before we go to the next question,
Welcome.
I want to welcome our viewers again. I can see that we have a lot of comments from our viewers. So I will start with Vivian Adaobi says hello. Greetings to you as well. Thank you for joining us this evening. Then we have Osage watching from Nigeria. Hello, welcome, and thank you for joining us. Then we have Clara again. Yes, thank you too. Thank you too.
Clara,
Then
Clara.
we have Leverage Fresh Limited. Over reliance on fertilizers will increase production costs. Thank you for that wonderful comment. Then we have Dr. Vidim Talabi. Yes, thank you for the encouragement. Thank you, sir. If yet again, thank you. You're also welcome. Um, Leverage Fresh again has a message this time around for Mr. Kayode. Mr. Kayode sabi this vegetable. Yes, we all agree. He knows it all. And if you give him a lot of time, he's going to do a full course rundown for us this evening. But as we all know, he won't be able to do that. So, but if you want to learn more, just register for the GrowVeg Challenge. Um, Thank you, Dr. Bidemi, once again. Okay. Let me Fresh is also welcoming ABS Amos. Then Leverage Fresh again also talked about relying too much on synthetic fertilizers will increase production costs. Thank you for dropping the comments. Dr. Bidemi, thank you for the encouragement. Oh, we appreciate it. Thank you, sir. Yes, Leverage Fresh again. We are giving you some hints from production guide. Yes, so Mr. Kayode has already given us some hints from the production guide. But like I said, if you want to have full access to what is inside, you have to register for GrowVeg Challenge. Good one, Mr. K and team. Thank you again, Dr. Bidemi. Really appreciate.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mr. Kayode is an asset to GrowVeg. Yes, he is. Thank you so much. From Ellis Nwali. Then Ohiri, thank you. Good evening to you as well. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you all. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for dropping your messages. We really appreciate them. And we're happy that at least you're part of this session. Thank you so much. Okay, so back to Mr. Kaide. We have more questions for you. So, can you please explain to us the difference between organic and inorganic fertilizer in terms of effectiveness?
Hmm. Thank you very much, Madam Chi Noya, for that question. Thank you very much. I hope you are not going to later ask for GMO too. Okay, organic fertilizer
It's
and inorganic, they plays the same role but in different way. Let me say this quickly. There is what we call, we practice what we call integrated nutrient management. Integrated nutrient management consists of using organic fertilizer and inorganic fertilizer equals to happy plants. As I said earlier on, when you focus only on inorganic fertilizer, you'll be shooting yourself a lot. Soil erosion, water pollution, global warming, climate change, soil degradation, acidity of the soil, and so on. So that's why it is always advisable you make use of your organic and inorganic. And one of the way you can get organic fertilizer is from your composts. Is from your compost, like your poultry manure and other rabbits manure and so on, goat manure and so on. But I don't like mentioning pig, goat, cow manure because I prefer my poultry manure a lot. But some of us don't have access to poultry manure. So what we have access to, we use. So the combination of those two will give you a good plants, we give you a healthy plants, not just healthy plants, healthy soil, healthy environment. But some of us practice inorganic, totally organic farming, making use of all the available resources in your in your environment. For instance, there is a plant that is called Tictona, very rich in some potassium and nitrogen. There is other plant, I can't remember the English name, but we call it Agumaniye in Yoruba. It is very, very rich in nitrogen. So some people can just get the leaf, process it, and use it as fertigation or drenching or irrigating their plant. Some people that are also breed, that are also into fish production, make use of the fish water to irrigate their plant and to also apply nutrients. So the combination of all this is very, very vital. There are some of our participants that are basically using mostly organic resources like the eggshell, the banana peel, plantain peel, bone meal, and so on, doing full organic production. I know of somebody, but let me just reserve her name. She's even in this platform, but I protect her name. So you have to also just make use of the two. Don't just rely on only inorganic fertilizer. You can rely on organic, but don't rely on inorganic because, as I said earlier, it might be effective initially, but in the long run, it might cost you a lot. And if you are a farmer that practice sustainability and protects the environment, you have to combine the two together. Organic fertilizer is a slow release fertilizer. It's not something your plant gets instantly. So if you are practicing organic, you apply them to your plant. It's not the plant, it will be released gradually. But there are some companies presently that now process organic fertilizer, or they produce organic fertilizer in liquid and in granules. We have, for instance, neem cake. It's an organic NPK. I think even Dangote does organic fertilizer like the neem cake also. So those ones are not fertilizer that when you give them to your plant, the plant uptake them instantly. No, it takes time. It's a gradual process. They release it gradually. But the beauty of organic fertilizer is it also builds your soil structure. It protects your soil. It protects the environment. So the inorganic is the fertilizer that when you give to your plants, the plants make use of them instantly. Instantly. So you could imagine giving them inorganic every day. The plants will just making use of them. And also take note that not all the inorganic that you are applying that the plant takes at once. So some of them will just go into the thin air, and that's waste of resources. So that's why it is always advisable that if you are producing, you make use of your organic and inorganic. That will give you happy plants, and happy plants are healthy plants, and healthy plants will give you optimal yield. Thank you very much, Madam Chinoye.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so I'll just quickly ask, what are the simple ways? I'm sure there are some simple ways that we can improve soil fertility, especially for a long-term productivity. Please, can you tell us some of those simple ways we can improve the soil fertility for a long period of time?
Thank you very much, Madam Chi. That's a very good question because your soil is one of the most important management plan for your crop. If you don't manage your soil, definitely you are just deceiving yourself. A lot of the challenges we have is just due to little error from us. And what are the error? Because we don't even know the status or the health status of our soil. So you just see some people, they'll just come, my plant is having this, my plant is, it is just because you didn't even know the health of your soil. That's why your plant is having all those things. Some will be chlorosis, you just discover what kind of disease is this. Why? Okay, what have you been doing? I have applied NPK, I have sprayed this one, I have sprayed that one. Why? Because of the little soil status that you did not have idea about. Some people will have a challenge like, okay, what's the pH of your soil? I don't really know. There was somebody here that he sent me a video. I was like, guy, this your soil pH is extremely low. I mean, very, very low. So when we were discussing it, it was like he was worried because the truth is the plants are even doing well. The plants are
Mm.
healthy, but that is a real signal that you have to take instant action. And funny enough, he has done a very good land preparation. A very good land preparation. He has done the soil test initially. He applied lime and so on. But for him to be one step ahead of them, I have to like, okay, this is what you are going to do. This is what you are going to do. This is what you are going to do, so that to avoid the challenge you will experience in the future, because that's the sign that it has given you a sign that this is very, very acidic. So what are you doing to protect that and to mitigate that issue? So you have to be preparing for that. So by the time you know that, it will help you to improve your soil. So for most, especially for most people that don't really have access to all the funds, because the people will be considering doing the soil test is expensive and all that. There are other soil test kits that you can buy, especially for the people who are doing backyard farming and very, very small scale farming. You can get your soil test kits, your pH kits, and so on. One of the most important things you need to know from your soil is the pH. When you have an idea of your pH, it will you are one step ahead of your production. Very, very important. So having those kits can save you a lot. You can always check the pH at any time, any day. You insert it. Okay, okay, okay. I'm safe. I'm not safe. Oh, it calls for being worried and so on. And if your soil is okay, let me now say you have done the test and you realize that this soil is acidic. As I said earlier, one of the most important things you need to do is to increase is for you to apply lime, calcium carbonate. That is if your soil is acidic and there is a required amount per acre. So when you know that okay, my soil is 3 points, the pH of my soil is 3.5. I need to like apply 2 to 3 tons per acre. If your soil is alkaline, then you need to know that you need to apply more of magnesium. And one of the other things that you need to apply to your soil to improve the fertility is organic compost. Your poultry manure is very, it's in short, don't plant without having access or applying poultry manure or organic compost to your soil. You are just going to have a big issue. So as you are planning to maintain your soil, to improve your soil, for your soil to last longer for long-term production, that poultry manure should not be something you will play with. Always have it at the back of your house that you have access to go and pick and do at any time and apply. This will really help you to improve your soil and make your production to last longer. You are also protecting the microbes, the soil microorganisms and beneficial microbes that the soil needs. So that's why, as I said, and I'll keep saying it, organic plus inorganic will give you happy plants, because those organic will improve the beneficial microbes of the soil, the microorganism, while the synthetic will be killing them. So while you rely on just using synthetic, you can see the implication you're already having. But the benefit is your organic compost will also improve the soil structure, will make the application of nutrients to last longer, water retention, water holding capacity, and so on. Thank you very much, Madam Chi.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. I'm sure our viewers have learned a lot with these few questions asked, and I know that they're willing to learn more. So at this point, I'll be handing over to my co-host, Mr. Favor. Please, you can take over. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Madam. Yeah, thank you so much. And Mr. K, it's been a very
Yes,
powerful
sir.
session,
Mr. Favor.
honestly. Honestly. So we still have a few more questions, and I'm sure that
Okay.
our viewers across the globe they also have questions that we'll treat, as this live session progresses. Okay. Can you hear me, Mr. K?
Very well, very well. I can hear you. Can you hear me, Mr. Favor?
Mr. Favor, we can hear
Majan?
you.
Okay.
And
All
Mr. K,
right.
I can hear you as well.
So the next question here. Yes, I can hear you perfectly, perfectly, perfectly.
Can I go ahead with the question
Okay,
asked?
yes. The
I
next
guess
question is
Mr. Favor's network.
yes, sir. So how can farmers identify nutrient deficiencies without lab testing?
Hmm.
Hello, Mr.
Thank you
Kayode,
very
did you hear
much.
me?
Thank you very much. I heard you very well, Madam Chi. I heard you very well. That's a good
All
question.
right.
Um, how do you identify nutrient deficiency without lab testing? Are you talking about the plants or the soil? If you are talking about the plants, you need to monitor your plants. That is why monitoring is part of your effective nutrient management. You have to monitor your plant very well. So every day you go to your farm, every day you go to the field, the first thing you need to do is to go and check your plants. You check them randomly and see. There's always a sign that they are happy or they are not happy. There's always a sign that they are being disrupted or not. So by the time you go there, you monitor your plants, you will see it. But for the soil, you cannot see it with your two naked eyes. It has to be tested. So it is the test that will determine how you plan for your nutrients management. As I said, you can't just assume that your soil is healthy. You could have the best soil looking at it physically, like, oh, man, this my soil is healthy, it looks rich, blah, blah, blah. But I can confidently tell you that that is just deceiving you. Fine, you might eat it for the first time, but you can be doing something for a long time and you are doing it wrongly. So it's better you do what is right so that it can be easy for you to diagnose your problem. So why you do your soil tests, you already have an idea of what you need to do, and it will give you an edge. But if you are talking about the plant, you can only see from monitoring your plant. So when you see a sign, for instance, your tomato leaf is showing a sign of purple, that is a signal that this plant is suffering from phosphorus. So you need to take decision instantly by applying phosphorus-based fertilizer to them instantly. That's a sign. You can only identify deficiency of your plant through monitoring, through checking them. So that is the only way you can do that. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So over to the next question. What role do biofertilizers and microbial inoculants play in nutrient management?
Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you for that question, Madam Chino. Yeah? Biofertilizer, biological fertilizer, they are more of like natural, nature. Those things are produced with the available natural resources in your environment. Most of the biofertilizer, for instance, your neem cake is produced from your neem plants, from the fruits. Neem leaves is very, very effective against a lot of is effective against a lot of insects. Your rabbit's urine, it's biofertilizer. The urine is very rich in nitrogen. It's also a pesticide. So those are biofertilizers. And by the time you're applying that to your plant, to your soil, it is not only benefiting your plant, it is also benefiting the soil because it improves the microbial activities of the soil. And what are the microbial activities? Most of them you cannot see them. Some of us we see earthworm and you'll be like, I need to kill this thing. Those are some of the invertebrates, soil invertebrates that are very, very important to your soil structure, but you might not even know. But you might just like, this one is disturbing my plant. I need to take it off. No, those are the things, and the only way those things can be effective is because of the biofertilizers you are applying. That is the only way they can work. So by the time you are applying synthetic, you are killing them. And you will discover that your soil is becoming compacted. The soil also, the plants also breathe. The plants breathe. The plants are living things. So you need to treat them like a living thing. So what do you do? So all those biofertilizer are what will help to improve your soil. The so-called manure is more of biofertilizer. All your compost, all those are biofertilizer. The calcium shell you are grinding, you are applying, those are biofertilizer, just natural. Why the microbial inoculants? We have a lot of microbial inoculants that also helps the soil. Those are fertilizers too that plays role in your plants and in the soil, and they are eco-friendly. By the time you incorporate some inoculants to the soil, we have some natural nematicides. For instance, I think we have Greenland GA. These are just bio fungicide that helps to build the soil and naturally kill the destructive nematodes in the soil. So you just inoculate them and you see that your plants are doing well. We also have other ones like Bio Restore Flow. Those are bio inoculants. We also have Bacillus and mycorrhiza inoculant and so on. We have the bacteria inoculants. So those are what will improve your soil, will makes the soil activities to be lively, to be to be rich, and to also fight most of the negative, destructive soil microbes, because we have the good microbes and we also have the bad microbes. So those inoculants that you are incorporating into the soil fight the bad microbes, while they also improve the good microbes. And by the time the good microbes are improved, your soil is improving, your soil is healthy, your soil is alive, your soil is happy. Thank you very much, Madam Chi.
Thank you, Mr. Kayode. Thank you so much. So I'll be handing over to Favor now.
Welcome back, Mr. Favor.
Mr. Favor, you're welcome back. Mr. Favor, can you hear us?
The Mr. Favor's network is not friendly tonight.
Okay, Mr. Kayode, while he's still sorting the network issue from his end, let me ask you the next question. It's about
Okay.
crop rotation. So, how important is crop rotation in maintaining soil nutrient balance?
Thank you very much, Madam Chi. That's a lovely question. Those are the kind of questions that are vital for our production. Soil production, crop rotation is very, very important in maintaining your soil nutrient balance. It is very, very important. We have heavy feeder plants, and we have the plant that don't really need much nutrients. For instance, if you are doing maize, what your plant really needs for maize production is nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. But they need more of nitrogen. That's maize. If you are doing ugu, for instance, ugu, that's pumpkin, what your plant really need is nitrogen. That is the basic things your plant needs, nitrogen. If you are doing cucumber, your plant needs more of potassium, less of nitrogen, more of phosphorus. If you are doing carrots, your plant needs more of phosphorus, less of nitrogen, and more of phosphorus, average of potassium. So by the time, as I said earlier on, if you understand the nutrient requirement of your crop, it will be easy for you to plan how you want to give them or how you want to apply the nutrients. For crop rotation, we always preach crop rotation because it helps your soil to last longer. It also improves your soil health, improve your soil structure, and also break down some disease and mitigate and control the environment. So, for instance, we all know that tomatoes and pepper are from the same family. So, for those of us who majorly do tomatoes, pepper, you plant tomatoes, and after some time, after the tomato production, you go into pepper. it is risky. A lot of people does it, but it is risky because of the disease outbreak. They share the same disease and they are from the same family. So that is why crop rotation is very, very advisable. So if you plant pepper or tomato, what should be coming to your mind is, what next can I plant? Should I plant cucumber or should I plant cabbage? That should be your next thinking. Or should I plant watermelon? Because they are of different family. But in the sense that, okay, maybe because of the way pepper is cashing out now, or tomatoes, you want to do tomatoes back to back, you can now like decide like, okay, after this first tomato production, what can I do that will just change the soil pattern or the crop pattern, and that's just going to auto break the disease that has been accumulated on the soil. So you can decide to go and plant leguminous plant like soya beans or beans, just to change your crop rotation. And maybe in the next 4 weeks, before you are able to transplant your seedlings, that would have taken 4 weeks, which would have changed the crop calendar or crop cycle. By then you can remove your leguminous plants. Since you are not waiting to harvest the fruits, then you can go back and plant your tomatoes or pepper. Why? Because you have been able to do crop rotation in a very short time. And that will also help to improve your soil, because leguminous plants fix nitrogen to the soil. Fix nitrogen. So that's a plus for you. Like, okay, I want to do 2 cycles of tomato. I have one plot of land. How can I do this? I have 1 acre. I cannot. Okay, you do that. Then you have a good planting schedule. You know that after 4 months you plant and you do it and you get your results. So it is very, very advisable that you practice crop rotation in a professional way, because crop rotation will help your soil to last longer. It will improve your soil health, your soil structure, and we make the microbial activities to be lively. So soil or crop rotation, it's very, very important. Don't joke with it. That's my take. Thank you very much, Madam Chi.
Thank you, Mr. Kayode. Thank you so much for the wonderful explanation. So now let's look at foliar fertilizers. Are they effective, and when should they be applied?
Thank you very much, Madam Chief, for that wonderful question. Foliar fertilizer. In short, we have this question, we always argue it a lot in a lot of platforms. And why? Most people always assume by the time you apply foliar, you have applied fertilizer. Nope, 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 nope. It's just like you are cooking your beautiful jollof rice, Nigeria jollof. Sorry for those in the diaspora. And you didn't eat it. You are just perceiving the aroma. Does that mean you've eaten? No, you didn't eat. In as much as you're able to perceive the aroma as long as you want, does not mean you've eaten it. So you cannot
Yeah.
really enjoy the sweetness of the jollof. So it also boils down to our plants. Our plant needs to eat, and they need to eat well. So the foliar fertilizer is a support. And most times why foliar fertilizer is applied is for quick correction. You want to quickly correct something. You notice this plant is lacking nitrogen through the monitoring of your plant. What can you quickly do is to apply foliar. You notice your fruits is having blossom end rots. That's calcium deficiency. The next thing that should come to your mind is for you to apply foliar. After you've applied the foliar, that does not mean you are not going to apply the one that goes to the soil, because that's the one that will do more impact on the plants. And that's the one the plants will utilize more, that will be available more for the plants. So foliar fertilizer is like you are using it to correct quick, or it's just like a quick answer. Let me quickly tackle this thing that I observe, deficiency. So you are using it to correct it. And sometimes it also acts as a support. Okay, let me just give this thing foliar, Jare, make the look nice. Let them look good. Let them look nice. Let me just apply foliar. It is good. So that is like you are 1 step ahead. Why? Because if there is any deficiency that will eventually come in the long run, the foliar you are applying will just be tackling them instantly. Thank you very much, Madam Chi.
Thank you, Mr. Kayode. Thank you so much. So let's before we move to the next question, let me move to the comment section. So Clara is asking what fertilizers can be used when AgroVet 2020 is not available.
Hmm. Madam Clara, you are not in Nigeria. Oh. You have to tell us what you have in your region before we know. You know, Agrovat is a brand name. We have different fertilizers. Hmm? So Agrovat is just NPK, 20% of nitrogen, 20% of phosphorus, 20% of potassium. So what do you have in your base is what you will use to work with. In short, even in Nigeria, Agrovat is not everywhere. Some people might have harvest field in the north or in the south. But the thing is, it is 2020. I think somebody even called me last week or so that okay, the person is in Benin State, Edo State, and he was saying he didn't see 2020. I saw, what did you see? He said he saw soluble 15, 16, 15. Go for it. They are NPK fertilizer. The difference is the 2020 have higher nitrogen, higher phosphorus, higher potassium. And as I said earlier, because most of us we use agrova because that is what we have in our region here. And that is what you can easily buy. There are other options. There are other options that you can always go for. That's one. Two, by the time you understand what your plant needs, it will be easy for you to know what to do. Your decision making will be very, very easy. For me now, if I didn't see Agrovat is soluble. I can say, this Agrovat is too expensive. I'm not using it. Let me go and buy 201010. 201010 is having 20% of nitrogen, 10% of phosphorus, 10% of potassium. And 201010 is very cheap. And I know that I'll be using this 201010 for the next 3 weeks for my plants because that's what they need more. They need more of nitrogen. So why am I now killing myself that I have to get 2020 when it's not available? And I'm saying 201010. Also, I could be saying 12, 12, 17 in my region, and my plant is already fruiting and they need more of potassium. And I'm seeing 12, 12, 17. I have to go for that because it's having higher potassium. So I don't have to now be saying, I'm looking for potassium nitrate or I'm looking for muriate of potash also. So by the time you understand all this, you are able to differentiate the fertilizers and you understand the plant requirement at a particular time. You can easily go for any fertilizer in your region and use. It is the same thing. Agrovat is just a brand name. We also have IFA bonus. So there are many. We also have some that is even having 30, I think 30, 2020 or 30, 10, 10, and so on. So let's not just stick to the brand name. What we really need to stick to is the composition. What's the particular name or the particular product have in stock? It's just like our fungicide, so a pesticide. I could be having Z-Force in my region. You could be having Mancozeb in my region. Z-Force is Mancozeb. Mancozeb is Mancozeb. But some people will just use the full name Mancozeb. While some people will just like Z-Force. But the function is the same thing. The active ingredient is the same thing. So it boils down to your nutrient also that you have to know what you want to do. You have to understand what you are buying and you have to understand what you are applying and when you are applying them. Thank you very much, Madam Chi.
Thank you. I hope this also answers Clara's question.
I hope so.
Dr. Let me say kudos. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Leverage Fresh also said organic plus inorganic will give you happy plants. Yes, it will definitely. Thank you all for the encouraging comments. Ture is reaching out from Sierra Leone. Thank you for joining. This is really amazing. Yes, it is. And Ture is also a vegetable farmer. Yes, you are in the right place and at the right time. And then you can always go back to watch the other live sessions that we've had from either the Leverage Fresh Facebook page or Dr. Bidemi's Facebook page as well. Thank you for joining. And Dr. Bidemi says, dishing out value. Great job, Mr. K and Madam Chi. Thank you,
Thank you,
Doctor.
sir.
Thank you so much. We appreciate. And thank you to all our viewers who are here tonight. Okay, some people are still dropping comments. So Diane says, well done. Diane says, well done to Mr. Kaide. Can aggravate be applied to the soil or is just for foliar application? All people with questions, you can have access to ask. You can have yes, the platform to ask numerous questions when you join GrowVeg. But I will just leave this up for Mr. K to answer.
Okay. That's a good question. Very, very technical question. Most people think soluble fertilizers cannot be applied, or it's basically for foliar application. No, 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 no. Soluble fertilizer can, in short, most
Yeah.
soilless farmers, that's what they use. When you're practicing soilless, you have to fertigate. And that is, you have to apply fertilizer to your plant. So the soluble ones is one they use to apply nutrients to their plant. So you can always irrigate it to your soil. You can drench it. It's a very, very good fertilizer because it easily it's easily dissolved, unlike the granular NPK. So I don't even like spraying. It's a secret anyway. Let me just keep it aside. But you can always drench it. You can apply it to your soil, and you will get a better result, unlike when you spray it to your plant. So for those of us who have been spraying agrova, thinking that they are giving their plants nutrients without fertigating, drenching, or side dressing, you are only denying your plants what the requirement that they are supposed to get. Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, we have a comment from Ture. Ture from Sierra Leone is asking, please, when again this great teaching? Yes, we are going to be here again on Sunday at 5 p.m. West African time. I hope I'll see you there again on Sunday. That's 31st of August. Then Mr. Suleiman says, please help us with the record. Yes, this will be recorded on, like I said, you can always visit the Leverage Fresh Limited Facebook page or Dr. Abidemi's Facebook page and you will see the recordings for this session. You can have all this yourself to watch them. You can also even watch the previous ones we've had. Just go through their pages and you see them there. Adebanji says, well done, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. Now back to you, Mr. Kayode. What is your final advice for GrowVeg participants, especially those who are just starting their nutrient management journey?
Thank you very much, Madam Chi. Thank you so much. My final advice, I have to be brief. One is, you are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. And once again, you are welcome. This is a very great opportunity for all our participants to leverage on vegetable production. Just as one of our board always say, if hunger is a crime, food production should it should be a crime. That is, if you are to eat every day, that means there are people that are going to always produce what you are going to eat. If hunger is not a crime, food production should not be a crime. So you have to keep producing. So there is future, and the future is agriculture. Whether we like it or not, the future is agriculture. The future is farming, and if you understand the rudiments, you make huge, huge money. There is a lot of testimonies from previous participants. If you go
Yeah.
to our page, you will see a lot of testimonies, a lot of them are just happy because we made it so easy for our participants. Somebody that has zero knowledge, zero experience about farming could just take our guide and just start flowing. In short, our guide is enough for you to start becoming a consultant. We have a participant that has become a consultant. He now travels up and down due to our guide. So when I see his post and his video, I just laugh. But it's making his money from that, and he got the knowledge from our training. So Don't joke with this training. Take it serious. Everything you need to learn, you learn. Gather the experience. You network. You communicate. Don't be an island. You relate. You link up from every aspect and make sure according to my boss, doctor, there is no silent winner. You have to let them know what you are doing. You have to speak out. You have to let the world know that you have to be proud. You have to be proud. Like farming now is a pride. It's a hot cake. You can see how fresh she is looking. You can see how good my both Dr. Talabi are looking. They are farmers, but if they come out, you will never believe they are farmers. A lot of people don't even believe I'm a farmer. When I go for marketing previously, some years back, I see you are a farmer. I'm a proud farmer. They say you don't look like farmer. Yes, because the trend has changed. We are modern farmers. We are technological farmers, and people need to eat. We get dirty, of course. We have to get dirty, but you have to be proud that you are doing it because farming is like a call. So when you are called, you have to answer to that call. And sometimes I'll be on farm on Sunday, people will go to church. But I prefer to be on the farm on Sunday than to go to church because it's a calling that I have to attend to. So if I don't attend to it, it's like I'm not doing the bidding of God. So for every one of us who is joining this trend and who have the intention of joining, it's a calling and you have to fulfill it. You have to make sure there is food available for all, not just food, healthy food that the world needs and the world needs you to produce because there is hunger, there is global hunger. So you have to go out there and make sure that you are making value, you are making impacts. Let me stop there, Madam Chi. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Kayode. Thank you. So, seeing how you've advised us on GrowVeg, would you recommend the GrowVeg challenge to that? I mean, the GrowVeg challenge 4.0, especially for those who are interested in starting their own vegetable production?
Is that for me?
No, yes, it is, sir. It is, sir.
Uh, Abba. Why would I recommend the challenge for our participants? That should be the next step. In short, they should start going out there and start publicizing it that they are glad they are here because it's a privilege. It's a privilege, and I believe they would have seen the sign. And if a lot of them have not been going to our page to see what's happening, we are not just here and start talking, or we are just no. We are practical. We do it, and I don't want to even now say we do it. Let them go and see what their colleagues or their seniors that have participated in the training have done. They can see and they can confirm. This training is not just for people in Nigeria alone. There is a lady that asked a question, Madam Clara, which I say she's not from Nigeria. She's in the other West African country and she's doing well. There are other people in US, in Europe, in South Africa, and so on. They are part of our trainees, and they are glad that they joined this training because they are getting value. And the value is what you are going to use for lifetime. It's not something you do today and you go and relax. No, you use it for life. And the moment you start, you will just be happy that you are going because what you will be seeing, you won't want to stop. You will just want to be flowing. So I will urge you, and I will always recommend this training for everyone. You have to partake in it. You have to let your friends know. You have to let your colleagues know. Come and join this. This is value. This is value that you you get the best from, and you also make money from it. One of our participants, made almost 10 million from habanero production. So you could imagine. So if you are making such money, and there is a guy in the GrowVeg 3.0 that's doing almost 4 acres of tomatoes production, and he's getting all the knowledge and information from our training. And he's doing well. In short, doctor posted the tomatoes recently that he just pruned. I was just like, oh my, this guy, you are even doing more than us. So, and I was like, wow. So that is the joy you get because you want to do more, you want to expand, and you will just can't stop. So thank you very much. You are welcome once again, and it's a privilege. So let's enjoy the ride, and I'm glad you are here also. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. K. Thank you so much. So, to all our viewers, we've come to the end of the live session. I'll just take this comment from Mr. Chukwudi, who says foliar fertilizers are the best to be applied through spraying. Yes, thank you so much. Um, Clara says Chef Ture. Yes, she's advising Chef Ture to register for the 4.0. Yes, Chef, please make sure you register for GrowVeg Challenge 4.0. Mr. Samuel, you're also welcome. Thank you for joining us and thank you for the encouragement. Erudite, thank you for joining and thank you for the encouragement to Mr. Kaide as well. Then we have Mr. Paul. He says, You guys are doing a wonderful job. Surprisingly, it's coming from young people. Keep the good. Thank you so much and thank you for the encouragement as well. Dr. William says, Yes, nobody knows a silent expert. Thank you so much. I think that's what Mr. Kaide quoted earlier. And yes, for those who are interested, please visit www.leveragefresh.com to enroll for the GrowVeg Challenge 4.0. You've heard from Mr. Kaede, and I'm sure you've also answered some questions. I'm sure so many people still have some questions and still want to learn more. But you can learn more when you register for GrowVeg Challenge 4.0, which is commencing on the 15th of September. But you can also get an instant access with our GrowVeg Premium. Just remember to visit our page and you get access to the resources you need. Yes, we have trained over 300 participants from across 8 different countries. Isn't that wonderful? So you too can be part of them. Dr. William also adds that we deliver far more than the token charge. Yes, we do. Like we said, we heard from Mr. Kaide and can see that he even gave a breakdown of different topics. And I'm sure that we want to learn more come GrowVeg Challenge 4.0. So, yes, we've come to an end of the session. Thank you all for joining. God bless you all. And then see you when next we on Sunday at 5 p.m. Thank you, Ollie, once again. Thank you, Mr. Kaide, for giving us the opportunity to ask you these questions. And thank you for also teaching our viewers tonight. We really enjoyed the session with you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right. Goodbye, everyone.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Have a lovely night, everyone. It's a pleasure.
Yes, sir. Bye, everyone.